Okay, gotcha. Okay, so Malika, I'll let you.
Good morning.
Wait.
As you mentioned, Dr. Who, Kim and I are part of the P30 supplement and Winship. And
Mm-hmm.
we have guests with us from Nigeria, from the APEN organization. And we have Dr. Banjo in the room. Kamara may be joining as well. But we wanted to use this time to allow our APEN team to see how PI meetings are actually ran here in Emory. So that's why we're using your time, and we appreciate you all for
Yeah.
allowing us to use these meetings for this purpose. So I will turn it over to Kim. I don't know if you want to go ahead or you want to start introductions around the room and
Yeah, I mean, we only have 30 minutes for
Yes.
each.
So really quick, I'll just
Yeah,
Dr. Who and Dr. Banjo can introduce themselves.
Yeah.
Everybody else.
that's perfect.
So Dr. Banjo, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself? I know you can't be seen.
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I could try to turn my
I can see
camera
now.
around.
Morning. I'm Dr. Olava. I'm from Nigeria. I work with APIN Initiative. APIN Public Health Initiative implementing by Nigeria, but it's control on the non-communicable diseases data systems. So, yeah, some environments. I also work with some colleagues in Emory, Professor Lorraine Geddes, so Lisa Glass. I also know work on the D43 grant with Professor Tuku, who left Emory for Case Western Reserve University. We are also part of that D43 grant in Nigeria. So I'm happy to be here, and I'll be here with my colleague, though he was not able to come here physically, we joined on Zoom. We just want to learn some experiences from Emory systems in terms of research administration system. And I'm happy to join the visit. Thank you.
Thank you. Welcome. Nice to meet you.
Can you allow share, Malika? Can you allow share so Jada can share? So for our colleagues here, normally what we do, you see a lot of people on this call, right? So we try really hard to ensure that those doing pre-award here in our group also know what's happening on the post-award side. So Diana is our pre-award administrator that works closely with Jada. Jada's handling the post-award side. Beverly Owens is the department administrator for environmental health. So she's always interested to see what faculty effort will be on these grants, as well as the potential impact to the department side. So we normally invite this team here. Sometimes people can join, sometimes they can't, but just to ensure we're all on the same page. So, and before we have the meetings, we always send out reports, and we'll kind of walk through those later on this afternoon. And I'm sure you've been exposed to them. To give them time to review them before we come to the meeting. So Jada is sharing her screen, and what we'll do is I'm sure Jin's probably had time to review them. So we'll kind of just start walking through balances, concerns, effort, next steps kind of thing. So Jin, I'll kick it to you.
Okay. So I could start going through. Do you want me to start to go through all the awards and then see and then have my questions?
Yeah, I think we can just go if you want to step through the reports like we normally do. So it looks like Jada's on your R01. So we can review.
Yeah.
Jada, is this PEDS? Oh, this is
Yeah.
PEDS. Okay. So you can see this one ends in February, right? So what Jada normally does is, do we have February effort in, Jada?
Yeah, but I never know how to calculate this part, so I didn't do it just 'cause I didn't want to throw off the number.
Okay. So we have actuals in through January. And this is with PED. So I think the
Mhm.
biggest thing here, Jen, is just making sure they're not going to overspend.
Yeah,
So Jada, if you can scroll down,
yeah.
and they already are, even with February not
Mm-hmm.
posting. So
Mm-hmm.
we
Yeah, I
can reach
saw.
out to PED.
Mm-hmm. I saw Jada already follow up with them. I'm not sure they have responded or not. Yeah. So, but I think in Jada's email, it was pretty clear to them that they should be able to find a way to correct the deficit. We can follow up with them again in a couple of weeks. I'm working with Diane here to for the RPPR because we got a request from NIH that one of the other support, like this Shilpa's other support was not complete. So I just emailed them yesterday and I haven't heard any response. So maybe after that we can follow up with them on the deficit.
Okay, that sounds good. And Jada, if you don't get a response from PEDS, let me and Malika know, and we'll kind of follow up on that end.
And then there were no other expenses this month, so we're good there.
On the PEDS grant. Okay.
Yes. So this is your RO1.
Uh-huh. So one thing is Fatten has left. So the first one, the first row, 70%. She has left for another position. Let me try to think. I think her last week of January has stopped. So I don't know if we need to, I don't know if HR would do that automatically. I honestly don't, because things have happened before with SOM HR. So maybe we should be on top of that. Let me find the exact date. Just give me 1 minute.
As long as Beverly, you all put through a termination request to HR, she should be terminated in the system. And we can remove the February expense.
Yeah. The 23rd of January is her last day with us.
Okay.
So
Okay, we'll double check this afternoon that she's termed in the system.
yeah, that'd be good. I think everything else looks good. Um, there's some spending I was not quite sure. I'm sure it's okay, but I just cannot remember what it was. Um, this
This
is
is on the non-personnel side.
yeah on the non
So
the
Jada, can you
ledger.
go to the ledger?
Yeah. Let me zoom in.
Yeah, so is this everything else looks good, but this is 5,175. Um, is that some? I don't remember anything about this one. But I could check with my lab manager to see if there's any order. This is definitely a purchase, right? This is not any. Yeah, this looks like it's an equipment. So it's not like any personnel fringe or anything like that, right?
Right.
Right. Yeah, it is a
Yeah.
purchase with Fisher Scientific. So we can work on pulling the backup for that and send it to you to
Okay.
confirm.
Okay. I will also check with my lab manager and then just so that I didn't miss anything. But that's the only one that I had a question.
Okay, great. We'll follow up on that one.
Okay, good. Um,
Yeah, and I did include RST encumbrances right here in March.
mhm.
Because you were posting at 3.5%. I believe you want it to be at 11.3.
Yes, yes, please. So I want to kind of save some money for the NCE next year. So yeah, 11.3.
And
That's
Jada, can you scroll down to the bottom so I can see the bottom line for, okay. So we're well below the 25% going into the next year, so that's good.
Mhm.
Okay, so we'll look at the last day for the staff person and we'll pull the Fisher Scientific invoice to send to you for
Mhm.
confirmation.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Awesome.
And then finally, the ULR.
Yes. So we need to think about ways to spend down the balance. Um, I it sounds like they won't give us second year and unless we finish all the first year funding. So I was wondering if Aaliyah could be. Did you, Jada, did you already submit RST for Aaliyah at 50% since
Yes,
September?
so this is, yeah, so these are, she's 50% through here.
Oh, okay. Okay. Okay, got it. Well, what else we could do? We could increase her and then we could try to, or we can move that 5,000 from my R1 to this. What is that easy to do, Kim?
Well, it is. I think though you need to confirm for us that that's really one, how she's spending her time, and two, that Fisher Scientific expense
Yeah,
relates directly to this award,
right. Yeah. So
right?
yeah, I don't know what that Fisher expense is actually. So when once I know what it is, then maybe we can decide if we want to move it or not. So Aaliyah has been
So are
working
they
on this.
saying they won't? I mean, I get they're not going to release the funds to you until you spend it, but are they saying they're going to take the funds back?
They didn't say that, no. Yeah, you're thinking about maybe we can just carry forward to the second year?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, because we do
Um,
have to show people's effort, how they're really spending their time
mm-hmm,
and not just
mm-hmm,
move it to spend it. So I
mm-hmm.
would rely on you to make that confirmation. But I mean, if they're not going to take your funding away,
Okay,
then I would almost say let's continue to spend until
sure.
we need the ask. How much do we have left right now, Jada, with this?
It's about $10,000.
It's all
And
right.
that's with,
Okay.
uh, okay, so that's with all the RSTs that you put in.
Yeah,
Okay. I think you're right. I like that idea, Kim. I will I think we can spend at least a couple $1,000 on lab supplies that's relevant to the project. And then as long as we keep it the balance small enough, it felt like it won't be they shouldn't have a problem with that. And I do think we
Sorry, I don't know
have
what that was.
also we have a travel coming up in
Okay.
March that will be charged to this balance. Yeah. So Aaliyah is going to a conference to present this project. So actually I think we'll be fine. So I think we'll just have maybe a couple $1,000 left. So okay.
Okay.
I
Do you know
think
where she's going in March? Like, so we can kind of project an expense.
Yeah, so she's going to San Diego. Actually, all of us are
Okay.
going to the conference. Um, I don't think she has submitted any expense yet. Everything has been charged to her personal credit card. So yeah, I think
Okay.
mm, definitely like $3,000 or $3,000 to $5,000 would be my normal estimate.
Okay. We can kind of plug that in just to see where we're at.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm just taking notes.
Okay.
Okay. So then effort.
okay.
So this is how you're currently allocated.
Okay.
And Jada, it looks like in April you're at 103, so we need to adjust it to 100.
mm,
Okay.
so yeah, I see. I think, yeah, we just have to lower the department. I don't think anything else can be changed right now.
Mm-hmm. Because all the
Oh,
other percentages,
well,
okay.
sorry. You could lower the ULRI starting April. We will have so hopefully we got the second year starting in. So you can lower my ULRI to 10%.
And then increase the department.
Yeah. Yeah.
Does the rest of your effort look right on the other
Mm,
awards?
I think so. Let me just quickly check. We have Tyrosine going, we have Hercules. At some point, we need to bump Hercules to 15% because that's required. But we can do it later.
Looks like we encumbered 20% in March for you. That might be the average.
Yes, that's the average for the past year. Yeah. So I think the new year starts in April, and then so we
Mhm.
just have to make it average of 15% by the time next year. Yeah.
Yeah.
So everything else looks good. I think. Um,
It does look like we have you encumbered at 0% for in March for ULRI. Is that correct?
uh,
I would say no, not if we need to spend that balance
mhm,
down.
mhm.
And
Yeah,
you're probably putting some effort on it.
I think last time we had a deficit, that's why we changed it to 0%. But if we want to, if we have some leftover that we can spend, yeah, definitely put whatever is left over and then reflect it here on my effort. Okay.
So in March, then, because you're at 100,
I am at that 100, yeah, but
do you want us to,
we could lower the department if we have to. It will,
like,
it's only a few $1,000s, right? So it won't be a lot. Maybe we can put,
I mean, we could at least put you on there at the 4% and then,
sure, and then see what it looks like. Yeah.
hmm. So Jada, go ahead. Yeah. And then reduce the department. Okay. So we can make these changes this afternoon when we meet
Okay.
with Jada to kind of make changes.
Okay. Sounds good.
Okay. Anything else from your end?
No, I think that's everything I have.
Okay. Are you going to email ULRI back telling them the plan? Because I know they've been kind of waiting.
Right. Yeah. So, that's a good point. So, what should I tell them? Should I just say that we already submit everything to the central office and then just waiting for them to process the final
Yeah. So
invoices?
Jada, when you and Robert checked on the invoice, did Central say when they were going to send the invoice out?
I think just at the end of the month.
And end of February or end of March?
I want to say February, but I'll have to check.
Did all the RSTs post in February?
They should, because I submitted them earlier in the month.
Okay. So next week, let's double check that the RST's posted and then then if you can email Vanessa, is that who's assigned to us? And make sure she sends it out. And if you need help pushing that invoice out, let me and Malika know and we'll
Okay.
help push it out.
Perfect.
Okay. All
All
right.
right.
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. Great. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thanks,
All right. See you
everyone.
soon.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Bye.